a common problem with dogs is dogs that get excited and then they pee. It's very common. I have two dogs upstairs that did this, Billy the Hedgehog and Brewster. They both did this. It's more about you changing what you do. Do not ever scold that dog that pees when it gets excited. It'll pee more. That makes it worse. So you have to sort of change how you interact with the dog. Now, when this happens, and I've dealt with this with a lot of dogs, and they're all sort of the same. Usually, some dogs you can see them in the crate and that excites them and they'll pee in the crate. That's a problem. Don't look at them. Okay? But usually it's when you're putting the leash on the dog. Their bladder is full. In most cases, all these dogs have really tiny bladders. All dogs are different. They are. Like my dog Ike, it wouldn't matter. You could get him excited. He has to pee. He's going to wait. You know, he can hold it. But so you don't interact with this dog that you know that excited pees. So you don't talk to them. You know, when you're putting the leash on them, that's the problem. So you have them drag a leash. And if it's a young puppy like this, you have to use a leash of this is equestrian rope. I made this. I made this leash out of equestrian rope because dogs don't want to chew on it. So I can put this in the crate, so when he's coming out of the crate, I can step on this or whatever, I can gain control. This wasn't a problem upstate with Camo because I have my backyard and Camo heels, and you know, I'd have the e-collar on him and would heel going out the door. I don't even have to put the leash on him. I make sure he's compliant. But down here in the city, I want a leash on him as I'm coming outside. It's a young dog. I can, if the e-collar's on him, he will be compliant going out the door. But I still like a leash on a young dog when we're going out the door because they have to go to the bathroom. So use equestrian rope. I made this by using hog rings, you know, and just sort of, you know, smashed a, you know, one of these snaps on. It works. You get hog rings work the best. You can get those at like Tractor Supply, but dogs don't want to chew on this. If you put the dog in the crate with the leather leash, they'll screw up your leather leash. But that's always where it is. Now remember, it's involuntary. The dog can't control themselves, and to get it to stop this, you have to stop the cycle. You have to break the cycle. So you can't really be putting the leash on the dog. The dog has to have the leash on him. If you keep putting the leash on the dog and it excites the dog and it makes the dog pee, the dog's not going to get better. But they can all get better, but it really is. It's about the owner doing things different. If you have a friend that comes over and the friend, for whatever reason, excites the dog too much, watch the friend. Is the friend making eye contact with the dog? Tell the friend to leave the dog alone. It's very important. You have to break the cycle. And it's usually when the dogs get older, this is a male dog, his testicles are dropping and everything, they get better muscle control. It definitely gets better if you do what Peter says. If you don't do what I say, it doesn't get better. If your dog is older and has been doing this a while, you still treat it the same way. You have the leash on the dog. Camo, no, sit. You have the leash on the dog in the crate. You don't interact with them when their bladder's full. He's not really paying attention because he knows I'm doing something. Remember that. If you're talking on the phone or something, the dog knows it. They act like douchebags. He knows that I'm doing a video. So, does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. It's about you changing. You can't really change the dog, and don't scold the dog because it peed, because it got excited. It will make it worse. Don't make a lot of eye contact. If you have a friend that comes over and talks baby talk to the dog, don't talk baby talk to the dog. You know, don't just excite the dog for no reason. If you're gonna use baby talk, you know, that goo goo gaga voice, be very careful, because that's like a type of positive reinforcement. You could be reinforcing something you don't want. Like if the dog is scared or excited, you're reinforcing that excitement. Man, you can get the dog not to do it, but if you don't change what you're doing, the dog will keep doing it. It's about you changing and about keeping the people that surround the dog that are causing this, making them change, and just say, look, I don't want to pick the dog's pee up anymore. Leave my dog alone. I hope this makes sense. This is Billy the Hedgehog. The only time that I've seen him do it, like in the last 2 years, is when we're loading up the truck, loading up my van to go to the house. It excites him. So I have to change what I do, and Billy just, I take him out like we're going outside. He's the first one to get in the van. See, I have to change what I do with Billy, and it doesn't happen. But it would be, that's the only situation when it happens. I can put the leash on Billy, you know, but know that it's all these dogs that have like these small bladders. How much they eat, raw diet is going to help out. If you're going to have your dog on a pet food, it's going to make it worse. That pet food, that dry pet food, they eat that, it expands in the dog's stomach. You know, they have to hydrate it, and then it pushes against the bladder. Keep the dog's bladder as empty as possible, and over time it gets better. It gets a lot better. You can, you know, totally make it so it doesn't happen. Billy the Hedgehog, maybe once or twice a year, where it was daily, several times. You know, it's a pain in the ass at first, but just get the leash on the dog, watch your eye contact, watch how you're interacting with the dog, and just don't do that anymore, and it gets better. Billy and Brewster, it's Brewster never, and Billy like maybe once or twice this year, because I do things different. It's about you. It's always about you. It's not about the dog, really. All dogs are fine, man. They are. They're all fine. It's human beings, you know. We're the problem. If the dog is living in the wild with other dogs, there is no problem, okay? It's about you. If you want to fix the dog, you have to fix yourself. Get yourself in check. Cammy! He's so cute. Love Cammy. Cammy's a good boy. So since we got back to the city and we started using this, no problems. None at all. This will be going back with him. When he goes back to his owners, I'll be sending this equestrian rope leash. But I think they live in the country anyway, so it's probably not going to be as much of an issue. They can have him coming out of the crate, walk him at heel to the door, you know, walk him out the door still at heel, and then release him. No problems. And as he gets older, better muscle control, bladder control. He's not nearly as bad as Billy the Hedgehog. Yeah, he hadn't been doing it at all, you know, and like me looking at him doesn't excite him so much, you know. It's really about this action here, like you're putting the leash on the dog, I'm going outside, that's how he's responding, and a human's touching me, and the human's me. I'm very exciting to dogs. They love me. Well, they don't love, but they like me a lot. They know that I'm going to work with them and train them. It's exciting. He hadn't been doing it at all. Seriously. I noticed right away, I was like, where's the equestrian rope leash? I thought I left it in my car that was getting its transmission. I had another one in the car that I was getting my transmission fixed. I'm like, great. What do I do? And then I remembered I had this one like on my couch. So he's good to go. He's a good boy. Keep the bladder empty. Watch how you interact with the dog. Equestrian rope. You can buy this at most hardware stores or online. Tractor Supply probably sells it. They don't want to chew on this.